Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing a tier list for how I think Season 6 is gonna play out in the new season of Marvel Rivals. Um, Besides that, this is all going to be my own personal opinion, of course. I am an Eternity player. I've hit Eternity about 4 times. Playing all picks and bans. All every character you could think I've played. I've played all roles. I'm a flex player. So let's get right into it and talk about. I'm gonna first go in with the vanguards, starting with change. We'll start with the vanguards that have been changed, and then we'll go into the rest. So we're gonna start with Angela. Where is she? Beautiful creature. All right, Angela. Angela's actually receiving a nerf. She's getting a slight nerf to her shield, a 50 damage nerf to her shield. It's not going to change much. She's still going to be really good on some maps. So I'm going to put her in A tier. She's still going to be really oppressive on some maps like Krakoa, maps that have holes that she can shove people in, maps that she can get easy abducts. Those are the maps she's really good, where she can get good flank angles. So with the 50 nerf to 50 health nerf to her shield, it's not going to do much. The next tank is going to be Cap. Cap is getting 2 seconds reduced off Vibranium Energy Saw cooldown, which honestly for Cap, he's gonna probably go into A tier because of this. He's gonna have more damage uptime and he's gonna be more annoying to deal with because he's just gonna have more uptime, which is just gonna make him 10 times harder to deal with, and it's gonna be annoying. But it's gonna be interesting to see how he works with the buff, because with the damage uptime, he's either gonna become really strong or really weak. We have to wait and see how it plays out. We'll see how the cat mings feel with this buff. All right, next we're going to talk about Strange. Strange, I'm excited for this patch. I think Strange is going to be better than Cap, but worse than Angela. I think Strange with this patch is going to be one of the more insane tanks in the game. He's got it's not a crazy change, but the simple change of buffing his conversion ratio, damage, and changing his ult, his fly to where it keeps the momentum. So when you cancel it going up, you can launch yourself and do some crazy B-Hop tech. It's going to be really interesting to see what Strange players come up with. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's a pretty good buff. The damage buff is going to be insane. He's going to do a lot more damage, especially at max charge. So you got to be careful of that. He's going to pop you really quick. All right, next tank that got changed would be Emma. Where is she? Emma got buffed again, of course. Emma got buffed. Her beam got buffed. It's just a straight damage buff to her. It's gonna be really interesting to see how this plays, because they're buffing her because they're buffing dive. So they're trying to keep she's what controls dive. So they're buffing her because they're like, okay, we're giving Cap a buff, we're giving Hulk a buff, we're giving Panther a buff, we're giving all these characters a buff. We need to buff Emma because of this. So they're buffing Emma to keep him in check. So we'll see how it plays out. Damage wise, she's just gonna do more damage. It's gonna be a lot. She's gonna be a lot more oppressive. She's still one of the top tanks in the game easily. Even with they can nerf her again and she'd still be S tier. All right, next would be Hulk. Hulk change actually makes him a good tank. The reduced charge up time is whatever. It'll help them get grabs out of there. But the gamma burst cooldown and damage is very nice. Reducing that he's gonna have his shield up off cooldown so much more this next patch. And then he's also he's immune to launch and knockback effects when he's ulted, when he's in his ult. So he's just gonna have so many different ways to survive now. Like he can press that, and he won't. I think he can still get Jeff ulted. So there's that, but he can't get Spider-Man pulled. He can't get knocked around he's going to get the combo off on someone. And he's gonna juggle someone. So Hulk's got it. This Hulk buff is really nice, and it's gonna end up making him a lot stronger than he was last patch. I don't think he'll be as strong as Strange, but I think he'll be stronger than Cap, because this is looking like it's going to build up to be more of a dive season. Alright, so now for the rest of the tanks, Penny got nerfed pretty bad. She lost her team up. That's what made Penny strong, was the team up. She still has her healing, but she doesn't have as many spider traps. She doesn't have as many webs everywhere because the team up is gone. So that's going to be interesting to play around, and we'll see how that works. Mag is still number 2. He's right by Emma. These are the best tanks in the game. If you're becoming a tank main, you pick these two. Emma's great against dive. Mag's good against pretty much everything. Poke, including poke, which has been meta in Rivals for a very long time now. So yeah, that's that for those. Thor. Honestly, Thor's down here with Benny. He's just not a tank. He has funny abductions, but he doesn't have actual damage to make himself a good character. He really struggles because of that. He has damage. That's all he has. He doesn't have the survivability. And the poke meta like it's been, he's not gonna fit. And I don't think that the changes to dive are gonna make him fit either. All right. Then we got Venom. Venom, I'm gonna put him B tier. Venom is still really good if you're good at Venom. You have to be good at Venom though, because he is a skill check character. He has a good amount of he has the healthiest tank in the game with the amount of health he has. But you have to understand that he is not as good as these other tanks that are just able to do everything and still provides utility to his team. He provides no utility to his team. He's just go in, go out. If it's a really good dive meta, he'll probably be up here. It's gonna be hard to say if it's gonna be a good dive meta because there's not enough real buffs to dive to make it a good dive meta, and there's buffs to supports. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Venom's gonna be around B tier. He's not gonna be as good as these tanks, but he'll be pretty strong still. I think that is besides their Deadpool. Oh, we got Groot. Groot got no changes. He is still God. He's still up here with these two tanks. He does everything. The Iron Wall buff is all he needed to become one of the best tanks in the game. Period. Is that all the tankies? No, Thing. Thing is bad. Thing is really bad. Like, there's nothing they can do to this character at this point. Until Dive's meta, he's just never going to be played, and I don't even think he'll be good into Dive when Dive is meta. Like, this season, he could be good if Cap's good, but, like, it's going to be so niche when you pick him, because these three tanks are just so much better than he is. Alright, so I think that's it for tanks. We'll then go into, I will go into duelists, starting with Panther. Panther's getting a buff. He's getting 5 damage to his spears and 50% damage reduction on the startup of his ultimate. He's better than Thing, but 5 damage isn't enough when every support has 275 health and is healing each other playing patty cake and has a way to heal themselves. He only does, I think, like 260 damage now with this combo with Spear Dash. So it still requires the 3-dash combo to kill a single target, which is where he really struggles. So I think he's gonna stay pretty low. Pretty low tier. All right, next we're gonna go with Blade. Blade, what to do with you? I think Blade is a bad character. I don't think he's as bad as BP, to be honest with you, but I think he is. Even with this change, they're trying to. The anti-heal is going to be interesting to see. He's not going to be that low. He'll be better than like these tanks. With the anti-heal, he'll be an interesting thing to see because he's going to apply a lot of anti-heal really quick to multiple targets. He's going to be like Gambit in that way, except for with more anti-heal. He's losing damage though for that. So they're just giving him utility. They're taking away his damage for utility. I really want to see how that's going to work out. I don't think it's going to work how they think it is, unfortunately. So we'll have to wait and see. For Daredevil got nerfed. Finally. He needed it. He's still A tier. Daredevil, he's probably here. So Daredevil is going to be insanely oppressive still. He's got a damage nerf, a pretty heavy damage nerf, but he's still going to do a lot of damage, and that's what people aren't realizing. He's still going to hit you really hard, really fast, and be really survivable. The survivability of Daredevil is scary. His shift getting the reduced for hitting terrain from 2 to 1 is going to just force Daredevil players to use that as their engage instead of anything else. So they're going to use that as their engage, and then they're going to combo you, and it's still going to do. It can still borderline one-shot a support, probably. So I'd be pretty careful about that. But I think he's about A tier because he won't be perfect. Alright, Iron Fist. Iron Fist got buffed. Why did we buff Iron Fist? So he does 5 more damage and has 0.2 second increased duration on his block. The 0.2 second increased duration will be it's quality of life. The 5 damage on the 4th hit, the first 4 strikes doing from 30 to 35, he's going to hit really hard on squishies and kill them really quick. You got to be really careful with this guy now. Because he's going to come in, he's going to hit someone, and now it's only going to take like three hits, and he's going to kick. And it's going to almost one-shot that support. So you got to be really careful with how sticky he's going to be now. We'll see how he turns out. I think this is going to be a really strong season for him, because with Cap getting buff and Hulk getting buff, he's going to like really fit in well with these tanks going into the backline. Alright, Namor. Namor got buffed. His team up is still good. Namor will never. I am a firm believer that they will never nerf Namor. Namor will always be strong. Like, he will always either have a really good team up or just be or his base kit's just gonna be really strong. They're giving him more damage and less damage with his team up, but more damage base. That's what's gonna be scary. Is more damage base Namor is horrifying. Because I'm not too like the whole thing about the team up is it's a scale and it's escalating and you can't shoot him. If they gave the squad's health for the team up, it would be perfect. I'd be fine with the team up. But since they have no health, they're invincible and they can keep shooting you, it's gonna be spooky. Especially with his normal squids having a damage buff now and an enhanced damage buff. So we're gonna see how that goes. Alright, for the rest of the DPS, we'll start with Widow. Widow's just bad. I'm sorry, Widow's just bad. I play Widow. She can't one-shot any of the supports in the game really anymore. Mantis damage boost, which was like her lifesaver, is just kind of being power crept out of existence. She can't really do much because of it, so she's just out pretty much. Next would be Hawkeye. Hawkeye's still good. They didn't change him. Yeah, if you get a good Hawkeye, he's gonna carry the game. You need to you either full focus him, and if you full focus him, you don't have enough resources or anything else. So I'm gonna put him in S tier because he's the same character that he was this last season, just oppressive. Hela, also the same character. She's just the queen of hit scan. They didn't nerf poke at all, so she's just gonna go crazy nuclear again and be a poke menace. We'll see how the Iron Fist Cap Hulk buffs deal with her. And let's see if it's like a more of a dive season, especially with a Deadpool. We'll see how dive heavy it feels. So I'm hoping it feels better than it does now, but I don't think it. I think it's still gonna be a pretty heavy poke meta. Iron Man. Iron Man is probably better than all these characters, but he's still bad. Iron Man has the problem of he is a slow flyer. Slow flyers in this game are struggling right now because of how poke heavy the meta is. Hela, Namor, Hawkeye, Punisher, all these characters just smash this character into the ground, so he's just struggling. Magik didn't get changed. She's still going to be like middle of A tier. I'd actually say she's probably better than Daredevil right now. I would say Daredevil's probably about here, actually. He's good, but he's not the greatest. I think Magik's better than Daredevil now. Magik, especially in the hands of a Magik main, is a scary character because she does a lot of damage with a lot of survivability, which is very, very useful, especially when playing a dive DPS when you don't have a ranged option besides one ability. You need to have that survivability through the rest of your kit, which she does. So I think she'll still be very good, especially since it's looking like it's going to be a dive meta. Psylocke. Psylocke, I think, is better than Daredevil. Psylocke used to be S tier, but she slowly went out of meta, especially when they nerfed her ult charge, because she needs that. She relies so heavily on her ult to get guaranteed picks because she doesn't do a ton of damage otherwise, unless she hits literally everything. So we'll see how that works, but I think she's going to be solid here. Moon Knight, I think Moon Knight is still one of the best DPS in the game. Moon Knight does so much damage and is so easy to play. His ease of use is ridiculous. He does a ton of damage. He gets ult. He's an ult generator. He doesn't care. He can kill you really quick if you get unked, and he is really good into poke. And he's good. The only thing I can see him suffering slightly into would be more of a Magik dive, but he still, I think, is so mobile with his double jump and grappling hook, he can just get away. Punisher. It's going to be a dive meta. It's looking like it's going to be a dive meta. Punisher is good. I'd say he's better than Venom right now. I wouldn't say he's the greatest, because Mag is just so strong, and Mag ult just hard counters Punisher, and you have to calm with your teams, and in the lower ranks, I understand that doesn't happen. So it's really hard to be a good Punisher when you're getting fried by Mag ults, Emma they're poking you with all this poke. You can't really do much about it. So next would be Spider. Spider's still good. Spider is probably about here. He's still really good. He's no change. Got a different team up. In his different team up is better than Torch team up, so he'll be a little bit stronger than he was last season. But I still think he's going to be somewhere in the middle. Squirrel Girl, unfortunately, tippy toe, does not do anything good. She's probably worse than Iron Man, to be honest with you. She just gives the enemy team ult. That's all she does. She just feeds support ult because she doesn't do enough damage to really be a scary threat. And her ult is super bad. Beyond bad. So I think she's just not worth playing at all. And I'm just going to put her in D tier because of it. Star-Lord. Star-Lord is still very good. I'm going to put him in S tier actually this time. I think he is going to be insane because he's not going to get pressured by magics. He's not going to get pressured by these Iron Fists. Spider-Man doesn't really do anything to him. These characters won't be able to dive him. He's really good into Moon Knight and Namor. He's not as good as Hela and Hawkeye because they're just better hit scan than him, but he is a very good DPS to solo carry with. Storm got no change. She's really in a hard spot because of just how strong these characters are. These characters are just way too strong to make Storm good. So we'll really have to see. Maybe it'll be in 6.5, but the patch is just not. This patch is just not enough to allow Storm to be a character right now. Wanda's worse than Storm. Her ult's just really bad. You can CC it. That's the whole problem with Wanda's her ult. You just CC it and it's gone. It doesn't matter. You can just kill her. Like there's so much damage in the game. Her ult, that's just her moving slowly through the skies, is the easiest thing to kill. And there's just so many different forms of CC in the game as well. You can shield it, you can CC it, you can kill her. It's just there's a lot going wrong with Wanda ult to make it good. Server admin, my Bucky is definitely better than Moon Knight. He literally got no changes. Like he's probably S tier actually. He got literally no changes. He's better than Star. 0 changes. He's still gonna CC you. He's gonna beat you up, and he's gonna take your lunch money. I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do about it. We can all cry. Wolf. I think Wolf's good. I think Wolf is like up here. Wolf is very like mid A tier. He's really strong into Cap and Hulk, which is going to be insane this next patch with their buffs. He's going to be really strong into them, and he's also good into Strange, who's also getting buffed. But I think Strange will have a little bit better time surviving them because he'll be able to B-hop past him. He has the ability now. But I think Wolf, yeah. I think Strange is fine here. A little bit better than him. But I think Wolf is just going to be very good into these tank buffs this patch. Because we're looking at a dive meta, a lot less shields, less CC. Oh, Wolf's going to have a great time. Alright, next tank would be... I think I got them all. No, Rogue. Rogue, no change. She is still bad. She's probably, like, here, honestly. I'll put her here. She does a ton of damage. She's an off-tank of off-tanks. She doesn't offer enough to her team in terms of every other tank that is up here. Venom offers literally nothing, but Venom's also way better at diving than Rogue is. Angela offers distraction. These three are just the pinnacle of tank. So I think Rogue, with no changes, she'll be fine, but Gambit getting nerfed is going to make her worse in the long run. Alright, now we're going to move on to supports. We're starting with C&D. C&D got buffed. I think C&D is still mediocre. So she got buffed. She got reduced healing from her Dagger Storm ability. So that's interesting. She also got adjustments to her walls, where she gets 2 charges now that are on cooldown. That's okay. She's going to be able to throw 2 walls now, which means she can throw 2 healing walls and burst you up to full really quick. The bubble nerf is very nice because, let's be honest, her bubble is a little bit overtuned when it comes to how much healing it does. But it also, she's going to be healing a lot more. It's going to be a lot more burst healing from C&D than like just overtime healing. So I don't think she's going to be like the best. I think she'll be up here. I don't think she'll be the best support though in the game. Next will be Gambit. Gambit got a nerf to his ult. He is still S tier. This character still has all of the utility in the game. He has cleanse, anti, damage, healing. What else do you mobility? What else do you want from a support, man? Like he's still gonna be unkillable. The meta won't be so focused around him and Sue anymore. Thank God. This meta's been pretty boring in 5.5 because those two are just so oppressive. But I think the Gambit nerf isn't enough truly because I still think he's gonna go pretty nuclear when it comes to just being a character. Sue nerf. She lost 50 health on her shield. It takes longer to recharge the shield. And the reduced healing on her. I still think she is an insane support. I think she's gonna be A tier. I think she's still gonna be played a lot. Is she gonna be played as much as she is now, where she's pick or ban? No. She is going to be very interesting with this patch because she will not be as survivable for herself, but she's still going to pump out the same amount of healing to her team. So she's going to need more patty cake now instead of just, I don't need healing for my team. I'm just going to shield myself and never die, which will be nice. Rocket is going to go in a solid A tier. I'm going to put him like honestly here. Rocket's good because let's be honest, triple support Rocket is it's really hard to kill Rocket in triple support, and if it's a dive meta, Rocket's going to be one of the most valued supports in the game. Actually, he'll go here. He'll be one of the most valued supports in the game just because of his mobility. He's so easy because he's so slippery and he can get away from all this dive and get rid of it. So we'll see how that works. The nerf that he got was like 2 meters a second on his wall crawl. Whatever. You can just press shift and launch yourself a mile. It doesn't change much for him. I forgot 2 DPS. We'll do this. I thought I had 3 DPS. Yee. We'll finish those real quick and then we'll finish the supports and we'll be done. Torch. Torch got no changes. Torch is still probably around here. If Poke is still super prevalent, which I think it's going to be the main meta, he's not going to be good. If it is, he could go up into A tier. Phoenix is still A tier. She is just the better Hela. In ways. Hela does more damage. Just straight up more damage. Phoenix has a better ult and better utility in her kit than Hela does, though. That's what makes Phoenix a good character. Fantastic. Honestly, I'm gonna put him bottom. I'm gonna put him like here. He is really, really unkillable, and especially if you're playing triple support Fantastic with 2 tanks, you're not killing anything unless you kill those supports. And killing those supports is really hard when they're getting a ton of shielding from their tanks and Fantastic, and healing from the other supports. So I think that with that, it's just kind of like, dang, can't do much about it. We'll see how it works. I think he didn't get any changes, so I think he's still gonna be around the same like low B tier, C tier character. He's not the greatest, but he's not the worst. Alright, now for the rest of the supports, we will go with Luna Snow. Luna Snow, I'm going to say she's about here. If it's a dive meta, Luna Snow really struggles. Luna really struggles into dive because she has got no real good mobility besides her passive. So she can freeze. Her freeze buff will be nice because against characters like, Spider-Man and all these characters where you can just throw an instant snowball and freeze them is really good. But I don't think she's as survivable as Invisible and Gambit are. Loki's going to be meta with Gambit. It's going to be a Loki Gambit meta because Gambit didn't get nerfed hard enough to make it really matter. It's going to be Loki Gambit triple support, and you're just going to farm ults with Gambit, double Gambit ult, and it's just going to be recycling, and you're just going to keep cycling ults like that. It's going to be very interesting to see how that works in the end. Mantis. I'm gonna put her in B. Probably C, honestly, above Blade. She's really hasn't been touched at all recently, and she lost her team, and I'm pretty sure she lost both. Yeah, no, the team up she had with Loki got nerfed, so she's not. So that just sucks for her. There's no real reason to pick her over any of the other supports either. The damage boost is nice, but it's not necessary because it's not enough of a damage boost to really truly matter. So, Ultron is good in triple support. I think he's probably about here below these two. He is really, really, really strong into triple support. With triple support, especially with 2 drones and a damage boost, he offers a lot of utility to his team. The only flaws with Ultron are his ult. His ult is just not perfect. It's more of a damage dealing ult than a supporting ult, and that's what makes it really hard to make this character like a good character and put him higher. Adam Warlock. Okay. What do I do with you? Honestly, gonna put you in C. Probably like above Blade. Adam is really good at triple support as well. He's another support that's just good when it comes to, I'm running triple support. I want something that does a little bit more damage, but I also want to be able to heal and give a utility ult instead of like just a straight healing ult. So he can go about there. But when it comes in terms of all the other supports, he lacks what the other supports have, which is the mass healing, the playmaking, and he has less utility. The res is nice, but it gets countered by so many things. Okay, Jeffy Shock. I honestly think Jeff is probably the top of B tier. I think he's better than all of these supports. Jeff is really hard to kill. Jeff triple support, really, really hard to kill. Jeff dual support, still really hard to kill because he has so many ways to survive. And he's fast and he can go up walls, he can go left, right. His swim is still really, really strong. I think with this and Deadpool team up, he's going to be very interesting to see how he swims around and does what he does. Because he's really pick or miss depending on who you have playing him. If he's on a good Jeff map, he can be a complete menace if he's hitting results. If he's not, it changes things. So it's really dependent on how the game's going for him. All right, now that we're done with all the current characters, we're gonna talk about Deadpool. We'll all go through each 3 versions of Deadpool, and I'll say exactly what I think he'll be best at in each role. So we'll start with. I think Deadpool will be, as a support, will be one of the best supports in the game. Just because he'll be able to AoE heal his frontline, these guys. Just consistent AoE healing on all of his abilities. And then upgrading him, he has Invincible. He can ult. If you're trying to counter his ult, which is giving mass healing, he gets a kill. He can selfie, become completely immune to damage, and not die, which is insane. So we'll see how. So that's what I think for support Deadpool will sit. For damage, I want to say he's going to be about here for damage. He's going to do a lot of damage. He's going to get it all very quickly. So support ults won't be able to counter it all the time. I don't think he'll be the best in the current meta because he's going to be interesting to see, and we'll see how he plays. But with his combos and his damage output, I think he'll still be really strong as a damage. But I think support is by far his best role. So here with like the upgrades, you can upgrade, you can do your crazy DPS ults, but what you're looking for mostly, especially when you're thinking in terms of his passive, his selfie, you're trying to get 1v1s isolated so you can selfie and get all your upgrades as fast as possible. When as a support, you're going to get upgrades a little bit slower than the other two because you're going to be more healing and just not really focusing on doing a ton of damage. For tank, I think he's going to be honestly a little bit better than Venom. I think tank Deadpool, he's going to give shields to his team, but I think he's an off tank in a game where main tank is the most important part of being a tank player. You need to be able to play, like, you need to have these 2 tanks. Like, if you're playing anything else, you can't play Deadpool because you just need that frontline presence. And I don't think Deadpool will really allow that because how his shield works is not really a save my team shield. It's more of a disrupt the enemy team's shield. So I see him more as an off tank, but not as good as like Hulk, Cap off tank, because these characters can at least support their team a little bit better than Deadpool can. But other than that, I think that's pretty much how I think season 6 is gonna play out character wise, like how strong each character is gonna be. Gambit, Loki are still gonna be insane. Gambit with the Gambit nerf, we'll see. I still think he's gonna be absolutely insane just because of how fast he charges ult for everyone. Hela, Hawkeye are still gonna be nuclear. Bucky didn't get changed. Bucky's still server admin. Let's have fun. And Star-Lord he'll be interesting as well because with Dive, hopefully there won't be as much poke going his way. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you guys could like, comment, and sub, I'm going to be playing on tomorrow. I'm going to be playing a lot of Rivals. I'm going to be playing a lot of Deadpool. And then tomorrow night, I will be streaming it. Playing Deadpool, having a good time if you guys want to come hang out. Over at Twitch Twitch Keto was taken underscore. Gotta remember that. But yeah, otherwise it's like this is what I'm thinking the meta's gonna be shaped down to. Is Deadpool will be a great support, an okay DPS, and a mediocre tank at best. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna head out. Bye.